What's going on, everyone? Welcome to yet another episode of the official BeatzCoin podcast. This one is a little bit different because I am trying out a brand new podcast software, and it is amazing. I'm super excited to be using it and saving a few bucks, to be honest with you. But this is the podcast all about music and crypto, and today we have a very special guest, Mike, the Tron Guy. He really needs no introduction, but he's one of the funniest and most genuine people that you will find on crypto Twitter. Fantastic with the Tron community, and we have a really, really good conversation about a number of different things. Definitely talk about BeatzCoin and the project, and what to look forward to in this industry with the opportunity that we have. So it's a lot of fun, and we will get straight into it. Now, as far as the project goes, before we get started, we are making a lot of progress, hitting milestone after milestone. So we're still on track to launch the platform with music on it by mid-April. So we're really looking forward to that. And right now we're putting a huge stress on our artist accelerator program. So for you artists out there or friends, those of you who know artists who are getting their music out there, we're giving away up to 1 million BeatzCoin to over 100 musicians or artists. So what are you waiting for? We're gonna launch our artist subdomain pretty soon, where you will have all the resources. But in the meantime, I do have a form that I am going to link, and that is your free entrance to the accelerator program. So guys, if you're an artist, fill that out. If you're not an artist and you know an artist, spread the word. I don't care how you do it. Just do it. We'd really appreciate it, and that's really going to help us kick off this platform. Anyways, without further ado, let's talk to Mike. All right, I'm with Mike the Tron Guy. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm really excited because I changed this podcast software like I was telling you before, and it took me like an hour to figure it out right now. And I know you're going to be using the same thing when you do your podcast, but for the people to know, this is like going from a 1999 Toyota Corolla to a brand new Mercedes-Benz, Lexus, whatever you want to call it. And it actually was a little bit cheaper too, the monthly service charge on it. So I'm excited, man. How's your day going?
Nice. My day is going really, really well, except for it's really snowy here in Seattle still. It's starting to melt and go away. We can drive a little better now.
That's good, man. I am super excited for you and your podcast with iHeartRadio and Matt. I listened to the Anthony Pompliano episode, and you left me wanting more, man. It's an awesome theme that you got going on there, Crypto for Idiots. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what inspired that?
Well, me and Matt, unbeknownst to each other, we got into crypto one day apart, and we didn't even know. I just kind of saw him on social media talking about it, like shortly after I had bought my first crypto, which was back in 2017. Mm-hmm. And then him and I started talking more. Then we started talking every day and hanging out. And then we did like a funny show that was, real lowbrow humor called Crypto and Cocktails. If you search, you could probably still find it on YouTube. And then we decided we wanted to, class it up a bit and stop, being a couple jokers and get a little bit more serious about it. There's a lot of information out there. And when we started, we didn't know what we were doing. And we're still kind of idiots. I mean, we're new. We don't know anything about tech, so we have to ask other people about tech. So the crux of the show, or the point of the show, is like, we're idiots, and we're always going to have someone smarter than us on the show to ask the question.
Yeah, man. So like we were saying, the space is still so new. We were talking about it last night, and we're idiots. Just imagine the people that are coming in. They're going to want to hear someone that where they can get some reliable information, as they begin their journey into the whole crypto world.
Right. And that's all. I mean, we want to do that personally. And we know, like, if we want to do that personally, there's probably other people like that. So how can we help them? How can we assist them? And then somehow we were able to get some, really smart people, like Pomp and like Brock Pierce and Justin Wu. Justin Wu we met. Oh, that's what happened. We went to a meetup here in Seattle back in early 18. And we met him. And then we saw him at another meetup later in 18 and just became friends. And he was our first guest on the show. And he's extremely smart. And he has been in the space for a long time.
That's awesome. And it's a matter of really just kind of getting the information out there. And I know you guys are going to do great with that just because of the whole setup and how you and Matt complement each other. I'm very excited for that. And then you're going to have your own specific to Tron, right? So we definitely are excited for that too.
Yeah, I want to do my own where it's extremely like community orientated, where I'll do like polls, like who do you want on this show? What kind of questions do you want me to ask, to really engage the Tron community. And it's a fun community. And I never had Twitter before being into crypto, and found out that's where everything kind of happens. There's a lot of news there. There's a lot of comments you should just leave alone, which I have a problem with. Sometimes I say things I shouldn't. I've had to delete posts, but people screenshot that. But yeah, that's what I want to do. Have a guest once a week or a couple times a week, and just talk Tron and different projects and white papers, and, things like that.
Yeah. So how did you become Mike the Tron Guy? Walk us through that story.
The reason I did that was because, my name's Mike and I'm into Tron, so that's easy. And I wanted something simple, but after going to Nitron and being on Twitter, like, people just knew me because I'm a bit of a loudmouth.
Yeah.
And I make those little videos, and I had even went up to Justin and was like, hey, I'm just a fan, an enthused investor. I'm an enthusiastic investor. I just want a picture. He goes, I watch all your videos on Twitter.
Dude,
at that point, I'm thinking, well, give me a retweet, man. But right?
So we can all cling.
That, I was
gonna say we can all cling on to hope that he's watching our tweets, and we're waiting for that retweet.
I know, right?
Sorry, go ahead, man.
After that, after my experience at Nitron, I was like, geez, people know who I am. People know who Dave is. They, I know it's a small space. But some of us just have a little more time on our hands to be able to invest a little more, or make little videos, or have some informed posts, and we're giving to the community, and they enjoy that. So we got to go down there and find out, like, people know who we are. And so I wanted to make it just a little bit easier to, recognize who I am. I guess, is it a brand? I don't know. Mike the Tron Guy. I did want to be associated with Tron. So that's why I put it in there as well. People say that's a bad thing to do on Twitter, to have, like, certain coins in your name, but I don't care about that. I'm not for social norms. I'm swimming the other way.
It was funny because I would recognize you because of the Seahawks cap. And I think the first day I was looking for you and you didn't have a Seahawks cap on. So I'm like, man, where's this Mike Seattle Seahawks guy, man? Because I'm a big Seahawks fan too. I want to go talk to him. And then I finally realized who you were.
When somebody else mentioned that, because I was wearing the Seahawks hat one day, but I did a video about me switching to the Yankees hat during off season.
Ooh.
But you got to wear your Seahawks hat in Niners country, just to rub it in their face. I don't like the Niners.
Well, you know what? The last time I was in San Francisco, I had an amazing trip, but that was when we lost the Super Bowl, because Russell Wilson threw that interception to Malcolm Butler. But I was rocking my Seahawks cap everywhere. And for those of you who don't know, I'll really briefly tell you, I've been a Seahawks fan probably since like 2008. And of course, I'm a Texans fan first because I'm here from Houston. But I've always loved the Seahawks. Had a coworker who got me into them. I met Russell Okung, who was a first-round draft pick, and I always told him I'd root for him, even though he's like on the Chargers now. But I just started liking the Seahawks. I mean, what's
Yeah.
not to like about them, right?
Right. I used to call Russell Okung Grandma's China Closet because he was always breaking. He was always hurt.
Sounds like some players that we have here on the Texans. But yeah, man, and then Russell Wilson and, the Legion of Boom, even though now they're kind of dismantled and trying to figure things out, it's a team with a lot of personality. So I can associate you with them pretty easily.
Yeah.
So, man,
Love the Hawks.
so we've talked a lot about BeatzCoin and our project and everything. And I know you find it really interesting because you have a history with music. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was involved in music kind of the same way I'm involved in Tron, where I'm a natural promoter. If I find something that I like, I go tell people about it. And I got involved with a certain group of artists. And when I found their music, I liked it so much, I just started buying it in bulk and passing it out in the streets. Did you lose me there?
No, I got you, man. You're passing it out on the streets?
Yeah, I started buying their music in bulk and just passing it out on the streets. And actually someone on MySpace saw what I was doing and just got a hold of me and said, do you want to put on a concert? And, I saw who the artists were, and it wasn't the ones that I was too enthusiastic about. But but I said, yeah, I'll go ahead and try this concert. So I did it. It was a success. And then it wasn't long before I was booking those artists I was so pumped about, passing their music out, just making sure that everyone had heard it. And then my concerts got actually pretty big, and then we started doing tours, and it was my full-time job for a couple years to just put on shows.
Wow.
So yeah, and so if I find something I like, I'm gonna go tell everybody about it, which isn't good during the all-time high, which is what I think I got 5 or 6 people to buy Tron. Yeah, yep. I sorry about that, but I got 5 or 6 people to buy at the all-time high. But so that's my experience in the music industry. Is just I was more of like a promoter, and I worked closely with artists. One of the reasons the artists like working with me was because most places they get booked around the country, someone will drop $20,000 on an artist so they can open up, because most people want to be rappers. Like, I don't want to be a rapper. I just wanted to put the best rappers on stage.
And they didn't see you as a threat because of that.
Right. Well, it's not even a threat, but they're there to do a job. And if you're there trying to be like, yo, man, sign me, that's not why they came there. They don't have time for that. Right. So that's why they liked working with me. And pretty soon I got to be known as the guy in Seattle that did this stuff. Funny story too. My co-host, Matt Case, did it on a way bigger scale than I did. He started out as a concert promoter too. So him and I have that in common. We have a few things in common. He has a rich background in music as well. So yeah.
So when you were doing this,
were
you doing it just in like the Washington area, or were you kind of all over the place booking things everywhere for everyone, or for these rappers?
Yeah, even smaller than Washington, just the Seattle area. I mean, as far south as Tacoma. And then I can't remember if we did anything in Bellingham, which is kind of the next big city up north, but there's like nothing up there. But mostly just in Seattle. And then we did do one tour where we toured we did, 10 cities in 11 nights.
Wow.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. We went over to Idaho and then down to San Diego and worked our way up. So that one night we didn't do a show. We took a travel day and just smashed down to San Diego. And then, yeah.
That's cool, man. Side note, I don't know if you knew this, but I actually got married in Bellingham, Washington.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said there wasn't much going on up there.
and I was actually going to move there at one point because my wife's Canadian, so we would just fly to Seattle and then drive up and then, cross the border, and then the whole legality reasons we had to get married in the States to make it easier for her to get residency and stuff. So, yep, Bellingham it is. I love it. I love Bellingham. I mean, not as much as Seattle, but it's Washington in general. The Northwest is beautiful.
Yeah, the Northwest is beautiful. Not when it snows.
But that's rare. Everyone thinks that like it's snowing all the time anywhere north, but the Northwest is really all about rain.
Yeah, it sure is. And we were not prepared for it. We just got hammered with the snow recently.
So
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, so let's talk a little bit about our project, about BeatzCoin. I know in the beginning you didn't even know we existed, and
right.
now that you kind of get a gist, and you've worked with different artists and things like that, what's your perception of the need of a platform like this within the crypto space to help with mass adoption?
Well, it's definitely needed in the space, something like this, where artists, get to keep control of their content. Because there's gatekeepers nowadays, right, that hold the keys to the gates where the artists want to get to. And something like BeatzCoin is going to open that up for the artists to be able to retain the rights to all their music, be able to sell it on a platform, and get all the funds. Because, the way it is currently, whether you're selling on Amazon or, Rhapsody, I don't know if people still do that. What are the other ones? All the streaming services?
I mean, you got Spotify, SoundCloud, and then for the lesser ones for supporting, more independent artists, you've got Bandcamp, Reverb Nation, things like that.
Yep. And then you have your TuneCores as well. Are you familiar with TuneCore? Where you can just upload your music on there and it puts it on every single digital outlet there is. But everybody's got their hands in the pot.
Right.
And what blockchain is going to do, what blockchain and an app like BeatzCoin is going to do, is going to have way less hands in the pot. So all the music can go to the artists, which is great.
It's funny.
So, yeah, and I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about it at first. I was like, I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. But now that I got to meet you guys at Nitron and see a little bit of the project and what you were working on, he wouldn't let us look it up on our own phones because he didn't want us sharing it. So he pulled it up on his own phone and showed us. I was like, oh, okay, you guys are doing something. You are building something. Because there's a lot of people out there that are like, hey, buy my coin and we're going to build this, and then it goes away and you never hear from them again and nothing's built. But you guys are building something. I've seen it. It looks good. Can't wait to use it. Can't wait to point artists in your direction to get them to sign up.
Right. And speaking of that, I think that's really going to be the key to our success, because let's be honest, you may or may have not have heard of them, but there's other music projects on, in the crypto space, but none of them are on Tron yet. I don't really see any competition on Tron. So we've got the leg up there. And I think we're really focusing on the musician himself and bringing them into the space while not making it difficult. So in the beginning, you might sacrifice a little bit of decentralization, but the whole ease of use thing, I think that's going to be the number one key to really bring an artist on so they can see that, hey, this is a real thing. But what's your thought process on that? Like, as far as, because these artists, what's it going to take to really get them on board? Not just like, oh, that sounds cool, but something that's really going to say, oh man, okay, I need to sign up right now. Like, I need to start uploading immediately. What do you think it's going to take for artists to do that?
I'll be honest, it's going to be difficult. Getting people to switch to blockchain on any way, shape, or form. Recently, I met a guy at a meetup, and he works with voting companies, ones that do it privately. When people want to vote on something and they're trying to get into the public sector, it's really hard to get into the public sector or even have something like voting changed to blockchain, because they don't want to screw up anything that's, why fix something that's not broken? Mm-hmm. So these people already know how to get elected, right?
Right.
So why change the process? Because I may not be able to get elected next time. And trust me, they have a formula. And just like with voting and getting elected, artists have a formula. Artists or promoters or record label owners, they all have a formula of how they're making money right now. And even though you're going to go and tell them hey, look, we can offer you this and you'll be making more money, it's still hard for them to switch. And even with my moving company, I had a guy yesterday call me about insurance. He wants to quote me on insurance. And even though he might be able to save me $1, switching is going to be tough. So it's just, it's getting the one, I think it's getting the one big fish or maybe a couple big fish that are like, whoa. And, we see all that stuff about Taylor Swift. Isn't it Taylor Swift that hates that she's not compensated correctly for a lot of like her music streams and stuff like that? So well, I've seen people throwing.
There was an ordeal with her where she stopped putting her stuff on Spotify for a while, but she's back on there. So I mean, I don't know if she accomplished anything or if it was just a little fit that she had. But I mean, if anyone's making a ton of money on those type of applications, it's people like her, Jay-Z, Ed Sheeran, Kanye, stuff like that. People like that.
Right.
But I mean, regardless, should she be making more? Heck yeah, she should be making more. Because what you get at the end of the day is not nearly worth your value. But I honestly think you're right, and that's a challenge that we're constantly thinking about outside the box, how to bring these people in. And I think at the beginning it's going to be a lot of just independent artists, but the more users on the platform, the better it's going to be. And then, like you said, the one or two big fish, and just making it seem easy, like. Because, a lot of people are like, oh, what do you know about cryptocurrency? They're like, oh, it's a computer money or something. And we're like, okay, right. But I'm so excited since I found out about this Spend app. I think that was you, the first one who found it, right? The Spend app where you can buy TRX directly with fiat.
I wasn't the first, but man, when I saw that too, I was like jumping for joy. I was like, this is it. So I know right now they're having trouble with their Android application. So they took it off the store and they're going to retool some things and re-release it. But I do have it. I'm waiting for my KYC to pass.
Right.
But my buddy George, who is also from Seattle and was at Nitron, he was able to, that guy, Tron Hodl Seattle. He was able to download, get through the KYC and actually buy Tron right from his phone using his debit card or bank account.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and there's different levels, and you can get a debit card and go spend it, I think.
Right. No, you can even send it to your bank account. Just like it's pretty much eliminates a whole bunch of processes. This is huge for BeatzCoin and the Viberbid platform, because like I had one of our guys wrote up a sheet, like literally instruction, like step by step on how to make BeatzCoin, convert it to TRX, then sell it to Bitcoin or whatever, and then cash out in Coinbase. And now we just skipped like half of those processes, so it's going to be so much easier. So I'm gonna, we're gonna try to get in touch with them and maybe see if we can do some sort of like special marketing, because I think they're gonna be big. In 8 of us, well, even if they don't care to help us, they already helped us.
Yeah, but nobody's going to be selling their BeatzCoin. Everyone's going to be holding that stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, ideally,
it's going to be a valuable coin.
Yeah, because think about it. You only have a 3 billion supply. And if artists get together and they start holding their coins, then obviously it's going to be more scarce and the value is going to increase a lot more. But, I mean, wouldn't you agree? Let's just be frank. Artists want to make, they want to see the money, right? They want to see the money in their account until they start really deep diving into crypto and seeing the benefits of keeping their funds in the cryptocurrency. They're going to want to cash out. So just being able to make an easier way for them to cash out is great.
Yeah, I know. I was joking a little bit there. Yeah, people will cash out a little bit. People will hold some. Everyone has different investment techniques. So... But that's a big step. That's Spend app.
Yeah, it's all going to be about education, man. The thing is just getting them on the space. Once you get them in the space, then they're making coins for doing what they want to do.
Right.
But and talking a little bit more about because I know you've been in touch or have promoted for some names that have blown up. What do you think about like the music industry? What's your perception on it from you looking closely at the people that you know in it?
Because I did work with artists like way before they blew up, I was closer to them before they blew up. But you need to go to the next step, and you need to make friendships at the next level, and they just don't have as much time for you as they used to, which I totally understand. Doesn't mean like you're totally not in communication with them at all, but they have a career path, and they need to take that career path. So it's definitely about, and most business isn't. It's not about friendships, which, outside of the music industry and other businesses, I have a hard time with that because I'm such a friendly person. I love friendships and personal relationships, but everybody is about the money, and getting the money. So,
yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
My opinion on it is that there's a specific, and you might have kind of said it, there's a specific set of doors that you need to walk through, and I forgot the way that you put it. There's their formula to making money. Yeah, they're gatekeepers, and there's a formula to making money, and you have to go through those gatekeepers. So what I'm excited about is the capability of artists, going a little bit outside the box and either using this exclusively or using it as a complement to their business. Because, I mean, man, I used to remember where artists would make more albums, and now all they're doing is like touring 24/7 to make ends meet,
Yep. That's how they make all their money, is touring. They don't make money off of record sales anymore. And if you go to, any like
no one buys music
store where they used to sell CDs, it's not there anymore. They're not selling albums. There's a huge gap between like multi-platinum selling albums and then like nobody goes gold anymore. Or that, there's no in between. There's just like superstars and bottom feeders. I don't want to call them bottom feeders, but like, they're just like just a normal band.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of in between anymore there.
Yeah, the sirens are coming right on time because it's an emergency in the music industry. you like that, huh? You like that, yeah. Well, let me play with these new features right here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this thing is
coming to save BeatzCoin's coming to save music.
Yeah, exactly. Cheers for us. Sorry, I'm.
Yeah, but I think you're right. I think you're right. It'll just be complementary to what they're already doing, right? So, and then they may see like, well, hey, BeatzCoin's really paying off. Maybe we should put a little bit more promotion through that channel because it's paying a little bit. Like I said, they have this formula down to a science of how to make money. How to find an artist, produce a record, release it, and make money, and tour, and do all that stuff. These online services are a part of that formula, and BeatzCoin should definitely be complementary and added into that formula for the artists.
Right. Ideally, if I'm an artist, what I'm thinking is, put your stuff on YouTube and SoundCloud and all that stuff, or wherever you're going to get a whole bunch of people initially. But everyone has their diehard fans, and if you say, "Hey, I've got 5 songs that you can only listen to, on VibraBid platform, and you've got to pay me with TRX or BeatzCoin," like people are gonna do it because they want to listen to those songs.
Yep.
So it's.
Yeah, I wonder how that will work, and how the easier it is to onboard like that spend app, because it's got to be easy for people as well. Because you can be a diehard fan and not know how to get Tron and not know how to get BeatzCoin. Maybe there'll be an avenue for the artist to give some away or win some. I don't know, so they can get to the music easier.
Yeah, it's.
But we're early. We're early in this space. We're so early.
Oh yeah, I mean, BeatzCoin. It's not a 1-year project, or it's not a 2-year project. It's probably like 5 years. Actually, today I saw a retweet that not Facebook, YouTube launched in 2005 today, and if you look at kind of how it looked in the beginning, it looked so crappy. And I've said this before on other episodes. It took a long time for YouTube to get where it's at now. So people who are in early with us, I mean, there's so much potential, and I'm sure there's, our platform when it launches day one is not going to look the same 1 year, 2 year, 3 years down the road.
Right. Yeah, your product has to continually evolve to keep people interested, and marketing always needs to happen, and change and growth. Otherwise, fast food restaurants would they'd run one commercial and never introduce a new sandwich, right?
That's true. That's very.
But no, they're
true.
constantly marketing, they're constantly changing, they're constantly growing, and as is YouTube, like you brought that up, and every site, Netflix is constantly adding new content and switching stuff around. Well, more than anything, they're kind of just jacking up the price. But but yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely like a 5-year thing. But everything, we just had Brock Pierce on our show, and he said the internet is going to be completely redone. The users won't know it, but what's going on behind the scenes is going to be completely new technology.
Right. Yep.
And so BeatzCoin's going to do that for music.
Yeah, that is the plan. I mean, we'll start somewhere and then just keep developing and developing and developing, because the goal is to be a music ecosystem platform. And when you think about that, it was funny because they're like, hey, we got to make like a little graph, showing like how things are going to work. And I was overcomplicating it, but it's so simple. It's, artists and listeners transact money back and forth, because the artist can, market himself and offer a bounty to get more listeners on board. And then, once we incorporate ads for those who want to accept ads, we're all in an ad share revenue pool. So, we make money to continue operating. The artist makes money and the listener makes money. So win-win-win,
That is glorious.
So
that's the way it should be.
Yeah, man. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm excited for you to do your podcast, because it's going to be a great voice for the Tron community. I'm sure many haters will take clips of you and and start playing, but that's going to be fun.
To
battle
fine.
them.
I enjoy that a little bit. Right? It's almost too fun.
Yeah. So, man, before we wrap it up here, I want to ask you some just random questions. Like, what's your favorite type of music?
Oh, my favorite type of music is rap music, for sure.
Favorite artist?
Yeah. Favorite artist? Oh, man, that's tough. Probably Nas. Nas and Eminem are kind of tied with me.
Mm-hmm. Favorite song that you've listened to lately?
Oh, Fall by Eminem on his latest Kamikaze album. Like, I got a new car with a Bose sound. It's got Bose in it, Bose sound system, and it sounds phenomenal. I'll listen to that song at least once a day. I think it's really good. It's got my favorite line in any rap song when he says it's time to separate the sheep from goats. And goat means greatest of all time, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And he says, I have no faith in your riders. I don't believe in ghosts. Dude. And that line is my favorite, because for listeners that don't know, ghostwriting is when someone else comes and writes your rhymes. So you might rap them and, someone gives you a beat, but someone else wrote the lyrics. And Eminem doesn't do any of that. And for him to say that, ooh.
Okay.
That's like, I got no faith in writers. I don't believe in ghosts.
Does Drake have ghostwriters?
That's the word on the street, that he has a lot.
Who else has ghostwriters that you know?
Well, one that struck me, do you remember Still DRE by Dre and Snoop?
No, I don't remember.
You remember that
song?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, represent for the gangsters all across the world. Well, they knew they had a hit, and they had multiple writers for that song, but Jay-Z wrote all those lyrics.
Wow. That I did not
know.
So
it goes to show you, like, and for someone like Eminem to put out the kind of content he has for how long and never use a ghostwriter, yeah, that's pretty amazing. So, and I'm pretty sure Nas doesn't use ghostwriters either. He has co-writers, but probably not full ghostwriters.
Right, so. Right. See, I actually really like that album, and rap is not my favorite, but I do listen to it, and Kamikaze was awesome because they were talking so much mess about the previous album. They were saying it was trash, and he just came back with like retaliation. My favorite song on that one is Lucky You with Joyner Lucas. That song. I'll blast that song in your truck.
Okay, yeah. Next time you come to Seattle.
Definitely. That won't be too long from now. It'll definitely be this year. Let's see what else I have, man. Favorite football player of all time.
Favorite football player of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's tough. That's real tough. Jeez. I don't know, Barry Sanders?
Okay. Waffles or pancakes? Say it again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Waffles or pancakes?
Barry Sanders.
Okay, and waffles or pancakes?
Waffles.
Okay.
Yeah, waffles.
This is one I've been trying to settle for like going on 6 months now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. It's like 50-50 right down the middle. Like pancakes, waffles, like I can't figure it out. There's really no consensus. I'm just gonna have to live with it.
Well, man, I'll be honest with you. I put peanut butter on both of them. That's like my topping of choice. Peanut butter and syrup.
Me too, man. Me too. Oh, dude. Okay.
So they both become pieces of cake at that point in time.
Yeah. Dude, okay. So, I mean, next time I go to Seattle, if you ever want to come up to Canada, to BC, there's you could call it like a little trucker diner breakfast place in Chilliwack, BC. That's exactly what I do. I take the peanut butter on their fluffy pancakes and put some syrup. It's delicious. I'll invite you if you ever want to come up.
I'm there. We'll take my truck and we'll listen to that song.
Anyways, man, Mike the Tron Guy on Twitter. You have your iHeartRadio podcast with Matt. Do you have a set day for that? Are you going to be doing live shows, or is it just, plan to release once a week?
We just plan to release once a week, yeah. Okay. And we got a pretty good lineup of guests. The guests that we've had so far have just been awesome. They're all really good. I don't know my favorite one was Justin Wu until yesterday when we did Brock Pierce. That was a lot of fun. He also, he spoke highly of Tron. Yeah, not a lot of people do.
Yeah, because I only listened to the Pomp one, and you're like Tron or Neo, and he's like neither, and I was like, I kind of cringed a little bit. But I mean, I think only time's gonna tell.
We're not there to shill coins as much as we are, just get the information about crypto and blockchain into people's hands.
Right. And that's why you'll have the Mike the Tron Guy podcast. That's where we shill Tron all day.
That's where I'll shill Tron. That's right. I don't think there's anything wrong with shilling something. As long as if you genuinely believe in it, if you genuinely think like, hey, my money's in Tron. My money's in Ant.
Right. Of course. You should have, I'm in communication with him. That guy who's an Ethereum developer, Hashoshi. Well, his name is Forrest, but he goes by Hashoshi. He would be a good person to have the show because he's an Ethereum developer, but he's like completely non-biased. Like he gave Tron a really good review when he made a video recently.
I think I saw that. I saw that video. Yeah.
So man, there's a lot to do in the space, and I'm really happy to have you or see you in the space on a regular basis. And I know we're going to be staying in touch and working together in what we can do, man. So thanks for hopping on and being the first person on not my new podcast, but my new software. It's been pretty fun. Yeah, figuring this thing out over here. Look, check this out. I can actually put music like kind of faded out in the background and stuff. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
See, that's pretty cool. Anyways.
I can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it. You can't hear it. Yeah,
no.
I'm literally.
And it better be Nas or Eminem.
No, it's a little independent one, but I just took it off. No, I wasn't playing it the whole time. I'm just messing with buttons right now. So wait, can you hear?
Yeah.
Hold on. Can you hear this? Can you hear that?
No.
Huh.
Nope.
Okay. See, for the people listening, I'm still trying to figure this out. So I was playing effects and like music on the side. So no wonder I didn't get a reaction from you when I played those other effects.
It might be a recording. They might be able to hear it on the recording. I just can't hear it.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Hey, well, thank you so much for jumping in and talking to me today. And we will be in touch, my friend.
Yep. Have a good one.
All right, brother. Take care.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Y'all are the reason that I do this podcast, because if I didn't have anyone that would listen to me, then that would mean that I'm talking to myself. And that would mean that I'm a crazy person. And I'm not a crazy person. But speaking of crazy, and I mean crazy awesome, make sure to follow Mike on Twitter. He is Mike the TRon Guy. And also follow Matt Case. Together they do the podcast Crypto for Idiots. And I am telling you, they are a great duo. It's a fantastic podcast. Honestly, it's even better than this one. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's better than this one. So all of their info will be linked in the description. On an ending note, one awesome feature about this new podcast software that I can't stop talking about is that we can go live like a radio station. So make sure that you download the Spreaker app. like speaker, but with the pre in there. So Spreaker. Then you can join live and you can ask us questions or talk mess about us or tell us nice things, whatever you want. And that's going to be really fun because, we'll be answering questions and talking with you guys. And we'll do our listening series like that as well. So should be a lot of fun. All right, guys. Peace.